Hey everybody, Cal here. So today we're going to be doing a relaxing video. I know usually I don't do builds too close to each other, but um, retraining Mawile today and also breeding one of the new Pokemon I told you guys about. It wasn't Dugong. You will see it on the team though. Um, I just didn't have time to do too many battles today. So to keep battling people till a quality one came up would have been, it's basically right now it's so early in the morning that I'm like super tired. So most likely the couple battles I do before bed, just because I do enjoy playing, so I'm gonna battle before I go to sleep. Might not be that great of quality since I won't be thinking too clearly. So I figured I would just do a Pokemon build. Now this is on my Whimsicott Caitie, the one that you guys have been seeing in the videos. Like I said, I don't like to do a build until the Pokemon has earned it. And I feel like Caitie definitely has earned it more than twice over at this point in time. So this is my hard support Whimsicott, I call it. As opposed to like a regenerating wall Whimsicott. Regenerating wall Whimsicott, is Giga Drain, Leech Seed. You could probably put a big root on it or leftovers. So very, very similar to my regenerating superior wall. And then I feel like you'd want to put Taunt and Tailwind on this Pokemon regardless. You might want to put Toxic on it too though, instead of Tailwind. But I feel like Taunt is just so good to have that you wouldn't want to remove it. But that's not the point. The point is this build. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with it. So you want to get a Fairy, or gosh, you want to get a Whimsicott, right? You want to breed it Bold. So that's going to give you that 10% defense boost, and I believe it gets rid of attack, which is already pretty crap on Whimsicott anyways. I bred it until its IVs were perfect in HP, defense, special attack, special defense, and speed. Since I'm not planning on beating people with those, look at those tiny little arms. Look at those. She's not going to be slapping anyone. There's just no way. Those arms aren't going to do anything to someone. And then you want to get Prankster. Prankster isn't hard to get on Whimsicott. It's not a hidden ability or anything, which is amazing. Prankster, I'm guessing everyone knows what it is. Basically, what it lets you do is status moves or go first. They become priority, I should say. The same priority as like Gale Wings and stuff like that. So do keep in mind that Gale Wings Talonflame will outspeed you, unless you're fully speed invested. But I don't really see a good reason to do that, since you have Prankster to help you with that. And you're pretty bulky with this build. But the reason why I say you want to keep that in mind is because if you go for a Cotton Guard before a Brave Bird, the Brave Bird will hit you first. So don't rely on getting that +3 defense or +6 defense if you already have one set up before the Brave Bird hits you. That's definitely something you need to keep in mind, and something I learned the hard way. Now, when you go into EV training, you want to give it max HP, max defense, because it is a physical wall. And Cotton Guard is great because it gives you that +3 defense per use. So literally after 2 uses, you're at max defense, which is ridiculous. I think it's damn near 500, right? Because isn't it times 3 when you're done? So 3, 4, yeah, like 550. I believe it's times 3 after +6. I could be completely wrong. I believe it's times 3. Yeah. So going into the actual move set, I went ahead and threw Moonblast on just because Fairy does help with a lot of things in the meta, such as Greninjas, all the dragons, Garchomps, Dragonites, Noivern. It's going to help you with Mine Chows. It's going to help you with, what are the good fighting Pokemon? Conkeldurs. Though, as you saw, Conkelder with Guts Poison Jab isn't going to be stopped by Whimsicott unless you get, I'd say you have to have both your Cotton Guards up to take that, based on how fast it took me down without any Cotton Guards up. I could be wrong. Maybe you could survive it with just one Cotton Guard, but I haven't had the chance to check. But it's just Fairy just has such a good coverage that it's just really useful to have. There's a lot of Pokemon weak against Fairy that are really popular in the meta, even in free battling. There's a lot of popular Pokemon, so I feel like Moonblast is really good to have. Also, keep in mind that the level that you have to evolve your Cottony at to get Cotton Guard is one specific level that's in the medium 30s. And you get Giga Drain at level 26, I believe, as Whimsicott. So you can't run Cotton Guard on a regenerating Whimsicott. So you can't stack Leech Seed, Giga Drain, Big Root, and a Cotton Guard on. It's impossible. They also don't get it as egg moves, so that is why I don't have Giga Drain. Cotton Guard, of course, because that's the bread and butter for this Pokemon. It really, really makes it stand out as a physical wall. It can take 4 times weak moves pretty well after the second one, and very decently even after the first one. And 150 defense normally isn't too bad. Tailwind is a great support move because especially since you have Prankster, so if you know you're about to go down against an opponent, you can go ahead and throw the Tailwind up before you die to make sure that whatever you send in next will have a fresh turn with double speed. And I believe it lasts, was it like 3 to 5 turns or something like that? So it's a really, really good move, especially at the end when it comes down to like your 2 sweepers trying to clean up each other. Giving your sweeper that advantage with Tailwind is priceless. It's something that you definitely want to have. And then Taunt, because if you use Whimsicott, you can counter other leads, such as stopping hazards. You can stop sweepers from setting up in your face, especially ones like Scissor. Granted, right, in my Salt video I lost to a Scissor, but that Whimsicott didn't get to play a good part in that battle anyways because of the poison jab. But like, just for example, I'm just saying like something that resists your fairy, such as a Scizor, you can taunt it so it can't get Swords Dances up. And that's one example. As you saw in my most recent battle, sorry, this will be spoilers if you haven't seen it, so if you don't want to be spoiled, pause and go watch it first before I say this part. But as you saw in my last video, it was able to prevent my opponent Ferrothorn from setting up hazards. It prevented the Gliscor from doing what Gliscors do, and that's toxic stalling. It couldn't get toxics, it couldn't protect, it couldn't roost. Altogether, Taunt is just a really, really good move. Like there's no downside really to having Taunt. So, and then go ahead and throw Leftovers on just to help you since you don't have any way to regenerate normally. Since Cotton Guard raises your defense so fast, there's a lot of times your defense ends up being so high that your Leftovers will cover, 90 to 100% of the damage a move's doing to you, and that's not even being sarcastic. Like, I'm being straight up serious right now. Like, you will take that little damage. Unless it's special attacker, then you kind of get screwed. So you definitely have to be careful because you only have 95 special defense. But the Leftovers is great, especially if something's trying to set up on you and you taunt it and then they don't want to switch out for some reason, expecting a Moonblast. You just keep getting Leftovers. So it's fantastic. And that's really about it. That's how I run my Whimsicott. You guys have seen it in action for yourselves, so you know how good it is. And there we go. If you guys have any other ideas for a Whimsicott build, let me know. I am aware of the regenerating Whimsicott, which is the Giga Drain Leech Seed. I do plan on, in the future, making one of those. Breeding one, I should say. I always say making, but I don't like saying making because it implies that I use a generator. I will be breeding one of those down the line, but I want to wait till I have more variety of different Pokemon before I start breeding different ways. I start breeding different builds on Pokemon I already have, unless I really end up needing it for a team. Just because there are so many Pokemon that I want to use, and I only have, I think, 30. 30 is being generous on how many competitively bred Pokemon I have. So the only Pokemon I use that I didn't breed is that shiny Luxray I got from Missing Toast because it's cool. I want to use it. I don't like Luxray too much though, so I do feel bad, but I probably won't be using it very often. It's just it's got so much potential, but because it's so slow, it just gets beaten down all the time. But maybe as I improve as a player, I'll eventually find a way to use it, and I'll understand how it works. But yes, I guess there's nothing left to do but do an outro. Oh, that's what I was doing. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. But yeah, so other than the regenerating wall, if there's any other cool builds or moves that you like on Whimsicotts, go ahead and leave them in the comments and let me know what you do. Sorry, I just lost my camera. This entire time was cutting off leftovers, but you guys know what that says. Um, and if there's another Pokemon you guys would like to see me use, I'm always up for you guys, telling me, hey, I'd like to see this or that. And other than that, I mean, hope you guys have a good night. Sorry, it's just a little short video today, but like I said, I'm just tired. I've been doing stuff all day. Got home from work and bread, and retrading my while and all that good stuff. So I need to go to sleep. Alright guys, you have a good night, or whatever time it is in your region, and I will see you in the next video.